So that's that. It's the Visual Studio Code you're supposed to install. And I think navigating through VS Code is not that hard. Yeah, it's not that hard when you're navigating through VS Code. What we just simply have here is the head, like the header. The header here, you just simply have a toggle chart. If you're actually, because I've integrated my GitHub account with this, I can actually open this and close this session here. Explorer. I can actually open and close it, open and close it. Also, we have a down terminal, like terminals, you have problems, output, debug console.
So,
the majority
so
of
please, I'm not seeing anything.
Have you tried zooming? Try zooming. Try zooming. Like, try tapping on the screen.
I'm trying, it's not going.
Ouch. As in, you're not seeing anything. You're the only one facing something.
No, sir. I'm just seeing your profile pic. It's not clear.
About Sherry. It's not even responding.
As in, maybe his network is disturbing. Maybe that's why.
I'm getting. I said yes. Good evening.
Okay. Try to tap on that screen itself. Just tap on it once. It's going to open. It will come out as a big screen.
It shows that it has been pinned. I don't know. I'm seeing pin on my own screen. Or it's network. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's network.
Okay, sir.
All right. So I'll just be doing an introduction to Python using VS Code. We'll be working with VS Code. So the first thing is I've already opened my folder inside VS Code. That's the folder there, Coding Made Easy Machine Learning. So the next I need to create is a new file. So I'm going to create a new file. You click on the new file, you're going to open. So I'm just going to say Python intro, Python_intro.py. So the extension for Python, it's .py. That's what you need to indicate. So when I click enter now, you're going to create a Python file. Let's just wait. I'm online, so the network is kind of glitching here. And just give it a little bit of time. So while waiting for it, while waiting for the file to be created, when you create yours, you're not going to see this Coca. This Coca is just an extension that I use. Yeah, it's an extension I'm using to work with. Okay, when you open, let's say Python, this is let's say VS Code. After creating your file now, we're just going to talk basically on the basic of Python. Yes, we'll talk on the basics of Python. What you're supposed to know as a basic, Python basic. I think that's what we're going to do this night. But before we want to talk into it, I'm just going to share. I'm going to share something with you guys inside the group. I'm going to share something with you guys inside the group. Okay. So that's that. So part 2 now, what we'll be doing Python basic scratch course. We'll use like 30 minutes for this. I'll now show you guys how to use variables and data types, printing and input types, lists and dictionaries, if statements, loops, and functions. So if there is time, we're going to cover all of this tonight. But if no time, I think we're just going to fix another day for the rest. But I don't think we're going to cover all of this tonight. We're just going to do the simple one that we can, because we don't have much time. Like we have a maximum should be 2 hours. Yeah. So that's that. So that's what we're going to cover now. Okay. So I'll just go back to my VS. Okay. That's that. The first thing now you need to understand, or what we'll be working with, is actually data types in Python. I need to understand what data types are, how they are being used, and how you can use them yourself. All right, the first we'll be talking on is variable and data type. Hope you guys are getting me. If you will have any problem, please you can actually share it in the comment section so that I'll get it. So the first we'll be talking on is data type. My network is kind of slow here. Okay, we'll be talking on variables and data type. So I'm just going to comment this line. Okay, I've commented the line. So we're talking on variables and data type. So we need to understand what variables are before you want to understand. So basically, I'll just say variables are simply containers that are used to store values. You might have a container that you want to actually store some values in it. So that's what a variable in simple terms is all about. That's the variable.
So please, I'm not still trying to understand how you do
Are you guys getting me?
to put the Python there, sir. How you
so say
about
variables are containers used to store values. Like the Python how?
Say I wanted to ask like what's the file extension
Like the Python how? I don't get you.
for Python? Because I understand that when you open a
.py.
file and you name the file, the the
Mhm.
the structure needs to come out, the skeleton of it needs to come out, like how we used to do it in HTML. So like what's
Yeah.
the file extension for Python?
Python file extension .py now. The extension for Python is .py. But if you're talking like for HTML, you just type something like is it an exclamation mark or to open the of an HTML document. You know, for Python, you write everything yourself. You don't like write let's say you don't write any exclamation mark to produce a preview template for you. You get
Okay.
yes. So we're talking about
so,
the
so please
variables. You
can you
need to
put
understand
like
what variables are before you can use them. What?
please can you just like start it over again because I'm trying to get to the Python myself. It's a kind of difficult for me.
Please, you're not going to like I said. It's only after the class. Just have a book and a pen that you're jotting what you're writing, that or a notepad you're writing inside. What we're going to do now here is after this I'm going to share with you the Python file that we're going to be working with. You get I'm going to share with you the Python file, but you need to first of all install the Python library. I'm going to send you guys a video where you're going to watch either on YouTube or anywhere. You're going to watch how to install Python and actually use it in VS Code. That will be more clearer before you can work with what I'm doing here. It's because I don't want to go through all those steps, but I'm going to say a clarified video on how you can do that. Hope it's okay.
So actually, it would have been preferable if we already have it. So while you're working, we're actually doing the same on our laptops as well.
And I know. You're right. But now just kind of do like because if you want to actually install the stuff, it will take a while. That's why my bad. I should have let's say inform you guys before having the class. But we're just going to continue. You get so you just understand what I'm doing now, and then afterwards, the next class you're going to see how you have because by then you must have already installed everything. We're not going to work that much today, since light have ceased at my end, and we're just going to do a basic of it, like variable data types, and if there is time, we can look into some other things too. So hope everything is good. Ego, that's your name on Telegram. Is it your real name? Hope everything is okay. But please, you guys should permit me for today.
Yes, sir, it's good. I'm okay.
Okay, that's nice. So as I was saying, we're going to talk about the first we're going to discuss about these variables and data types. So you need to understand what variables are before you can start using them. Like I said, variables is just a container that is used to store information and data. Yeah. So in Python, it does not need you to say int, you write the variable name, or float, you write the data type before the variable name. It does not need that. What actually you just need to declare your variable name, like what I'm going to do now here. Let's take, for example, we have some series of variables I'm going to declare here. So I've declared some series of variables. So we have name, I've written my name there, age 20, true, and also height 1.75. I'm going to explain this. So this one actually, it's actually a string. Yes, it's a string. You get. So anything that's been written in double quotes in Python, it's a string. So 20 actually normally you need to know that 20 is an integer. You need to know that 20 is an integer. So that's for 20. This one now we have a student. It's actually a boolean. A boolean is simply a variable that takes two data. That's either true or false. We have that's why you see a student you put through there. So the next we'll be talking about is float. Float is just real numbers or decimal points. You get. So those are the type of variables we're going to be talking about. String, integer, boolean, and float. So string is just a combination of series of characters. A is a character, as in A is a character. But if you want to, let's say, work with a character, you can say, okay, or just a new name, new underscore name is equal to, okay, I'm just going to see it's a character. I'm just going to say A. So what happened here is I have actually declared, or this is actually a character because it's a single letter. A character is just a single letter, whereas a string is actually you're using multiple letters. Let's say combination of A, B, C, D. Like Adrian here is the string, combination of series of characters. A character is just a single letter. And for you to differentiate between a character and a string sometimes we use single quote, but majority of the time we use double quote, since it's a combination of series of characters. For a character, use single quotes. Sometimes you might see people using double quotes, but the best way to actually present your work perfectly well, we usually use single quotes for characters. Hope everything is okay at that point before we continue. So that's actually the various type of variables. We have declared the first variable here is name. A variable, actually, this is a container that we have declared. It contains you have actually stored a value, which is your name or my name that has been written. We have age. It actually stores a value. It's a variable of data type integer. So it stores an integer value. Name stores a floating point, or sorry, a string value. Is student stores a boolean value. Height stores a floating point value, while new name stores a character value. Hope everything is clear between variable declaration. So hope everything is good at this point. Please, if you're getting me, you just indicate, please. I'm kind of working based on my machine, and I'm trying to explain some other things here. If you're getting me, just talk.
I'm
And if
guessing.
everything is
Getting sir.
and everything is okay, right?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. If you just have any question, you can just be sending it outside in the comment section. I'm going to respond to it ASAP. So that's how you learn how to declare variables in Python. The next thing I'll be looking into is, I never wanted to talk about this, it's data structures. So before you need to understand what data structures are, we need to know the explanation of a data structure, or what is a data structure. So a data structure you just excuse me, okay. Data structures is, or a data structure is just a way we store and organize data in a computer. So the way you store and organize data in a computer, that's what data structure is all about. So the way we store and organize data in a computer so that it can be used or accessed efficiently. Because obviously we're going to have some programs where you guys should be having some obviously series of quizzes, because obviously if I'm teaching, I'm going to give you guys quiz for you to learn. So a data structure is the way we store and organize data in a computer so that we can easily access it. So it's a way we store and organize data in a computer so that we can easily access it. That's what the data structure is all about. So talking now about various types of data structure, we'll talk on the first one, which is a list. You get, we're talking about the first one, which is a list. A list actually is a collection of items that are ordered and are changeable. So you can actually change a value or some values in a list. So a list is actually ordered. You have actually collect your data and place it in an orderly manner, and also you are able to change, let's say, change the value in the list based on the various conditions that we're going to be seeing as time goes on. So it actually allows you to duplicate members of the list. Members are just actually the elements that are found in the list, or the data that are found in the list. So a list is the number one form of a data structure. So I'm just going to say one, we have list. So the next we'll be talking on is actually how to use a list. You get. So the next we'll be focusing on is how to use, or how can you declare a list in Python. So we're going to be talking about a fruit list here, a fruit list that contains data of, that contains names of fruits. So I'm just going to write fruits, or I'm just going to say my list. We have this one contains integer values. So this actually is actually an organized manner of storing data so that we can easily access it. So if we want to access each element in this list, we use what we call indexing. So in this list, we use what we call indexing to access each element in the list. So if you want to access each element in the list, we use what we call indexing to access each element in a list. That's what we use. We use indexing to access each element in the list. So the first index here is just actually 0. The first index starts from 0. The second starts from 1, third 2, fourth 3, fifth 4. So that, let's say if you're having a list of size n, the index will ranges from 0 to n minus 1. Let's say, for example, the size of this list is actually, you count the number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's actually 5. Size of the list is 5. So if you want to actually reference the first element, let's say if you want to reference the first element, I'm just going to show you how we're going to print the first element here so that you understand perfectly well. So if you want to reference the first element, which is 1, we're going to print. I'm just going to use a print function in Python so that you're going to understand how it's been done. So I'm just going to say print. Okay, I need to print the first element. So my list of 0, I'm going to print the first element here. So to do that now, see what I'm going to do, please. I'm going to open my command line. So like I said, we'll be working on command line. I'm using Python 3. So I'm just going to type Python 3. Okay, Python 3, the name of my Python, that's Python intro, all right, .py. Then now I press enter. Okay, they are going to be, yeah, all right. So just wait so that you're going to see the output this way on my terminal. So we'll be using terminal to work with. So that's how actually you can declare a list, and also how you can access element in a list. So this is how you can declare a list in Python. You get? So that's how you can declare a list in Python. So like I said, you're accessing each element based on their index value. So the first value, or the first number, or the first element is actually the index 1. Actually, sorry, the index 0, while the second element is the index 1, the third, like I already said, the third is the index 2, so on and so forth. So what will be printed here actually is 1. You get? What will be printed here is 1. So if you want to print, let's say the second element, so just change this to 2, sorry, to 1. So that what will instead be printed is 2. I'm just going to show you what has been printed. You can see here at my console, 1 has been printed. You get? So that's how you can actually reference or print or print an element in a list based on their indexing. How you can access an element in a list based on their indexing. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is clear. So we're just going to move ahead with the next data structure. Okay, I'm just going to comment all of these. And okay, we'll come down, comment all of that. Okay, I'm going to comment all of these too. Okay, that's what we're having. So the next data structure we'll be talking about now, it's a tuple. We're talking about a tuple. So you need to understand what a tuple is actually. You need to understand. Okay, you need to understand what a tuple is. Okay, I'll just try reducing this size so that. All right, so that's it. A tuple is actually a collection of elements or items that are ordered and unchangeable. We usually call it, for lists, we say lists are mutable, meaning you can change elements in a list. While in tuple, we say tuples are unmutable, meaning you cannot change elements in a tuple. That's the term that you mostly be seeing. So unchangeable simply means immutable. Why or unmutable? Why a list is actually mutable, meaning you can change elements in a list. Also, tuples allows you to duplicate members, meaning you can duplicate the various elements in a list. So let's say, for example, I want to declare a tuple. I'm just saying my tuple. Okay. As in my tuple, I'm just going to write, okay. All right, I'm just going to write. This is how you can declare a tuple in Python. You have my tuple. What you're using here, you need to understand the difference. In list, we're instead using a bracket. You can see a bracket here. But in tuple, what we're using is a parenthesis. Yes, it's a parenthesis we're using here. In list declaration, we use a bracket. In tuple, we use a parenthesis. So you need to understand the difference. So let's say, for example, I want to print. Also in tuple, we use also indexing to access elements. Let's say, for example, the size of this tuple is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say, for example, I want to print. I want to print the first element in the tuple. What I'm just going to do, I'm going to access the element based on their index value. So like I said, in a list, we have index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Same as in tuple. But now you access the index value using the bracket or a bracket when you want to print. So what I'm just going to do, Okay, I'm just going to run it, copy, and let's see which will be printed. Okay, let's give it a little bit of time, see which will be printed. So that's how you can actually declare a tuple. This print function is just used to display on your terminal, to display an element on your terminal when you use a print function. So that's what has been printed, 1. That's how you can access or declare and print values in a tuple. Hope everything is okay at this point. If there is question, you can ask or forever remain silent. All right, Candy, you can go ahead,
So
talk.
please, I'm kind of confused with this definition of a tuple. See, a tuple is a collection of items that are ordered
Ordered
and
and unchangeable.
unchangeable. So
Yes.
yes, I'm confused with that.
Okay, so I'm just going
When
to
you said
explain it
ordered and
practically here.
unchangeable, that means
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is, you cannot change values in a tuple. You cannot change this. Let me take for example. Okay, let's say if you want to change, let's say the value of a tuple, right? Like what you want to do here. Let's take for example the first index here. Okay, we're actually assessing the first element. The first element needs to be 1. I'm just going to okay. The first element in this tuple needs to be 1. But what we're trying to do is want to change that element. Since we're referencing with the index 0, we want to change the element of, want to put 10 there. What is going to happen is an error or a type error is going to happen because tuple are immutable, meaning you cannot change an element. Once you have actually declared a tuple, that's what you're going to use. You cannot change this 5 or this 1 at this position here. You're seeing, you get. But you can change a list. You can change a list because lists are mutable, meaning it can be changed. That's why I say here that lists are changeable or mutable. Why tuple are unchangeable or immutable or mutable. Hope everything is okay. Nasby, hope everything is good.
yes, it's okay. It's okay.
All right. The next thing we'll be looking into is actually a set. I'm just going to comment all of these. We're going to be looking into a set. So a set is actually a collection, like in normal mathematics, a set is actually a collection of items that are actually unordered and unindexed. You cannot actually let's say reference, let's say get an element using indexing in a set. You get. So when I declare my set, let's just say the name of my set is my set, my underscore set. I put the values here. So you need to know the difference. In a list, I use a bracket, a square bracket. In a tuple, I use a a parenthesis. In a set, I use what we call a braces. You get. So that's the difference in which you need to understand how you use in declaring the various type of data structure in Python. In a list, I'll take it all over. In a list, I use a bracket. In a list, I use a bracket. In a tuple, I use a parenthesis. Please be taking note of this. In a tuple, I use a parenthesis. Why in a set, I use what we call braces. Hope everything is okay. I'll just try. Okay, it's still recording. All right, so that's that concerning how you can declare values in a tuple. So let's say, for example, I want to print all of these, or I I want to display all of this. I'll just write print. I'm just going to print my set. It's going to print actually, okay. It's going to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what it's going to print. So yeah, I'm just going to run it. I'm just going to run it so that okay, it's kind of okay. You can see what has been printed here: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But you cannot actually use indexing to print each separate values in a that's in a set. You get, so you cannot use different separate like indexing like what we're doing for a list and also in a topic. You cannot use that here. So the next I'll be talking on is actually okay, dictionary. And the fourth is dictionary. Okay, a dictionary is simply a collection of items that are unordered. They are not ordered like in list and tuple. These ones are unordered. They are changeable and you can index it. You have you cannot duplicate any member here. So I'm just going to declare a dictionary here. Okay. Ouch. I'm gonna declare a dictionary. So you're going to say my dictionary. Then you can actually a dictionary. I am going to declare, let's say I want to write some. So this is it. It's a collection of items. You've seen this is an item. These are items in it. These are items in it. We have the first one here is name, the second one here is age, the third one is true, and the third one is height. So let's say this is how you can declare a list or a dictionary in let's say Python. For example, if I want to print name, if I want to print name, I don't want to print the rest. But first of all, print all of them before I print name. I'm going to print the list so that you're going to see what happens. I'm going to print the list so that you see all of this will be printed. You have name, age, you have age 20, you have a student true, you have height 1.7. That's what will be printed. You're seeing here, that's what has been printed here. Name, Adrian, age 20, is student true, and height 1.75. So that's what has been printed. Let's take, for example, now I want to print, instead of printing every values there, let's say I want to print, okay, I want to print like a separate value. I don't want to print all of these at the same time. So I want to print the first index, right? Okay, I'm just going to say, but now I'm not referencing it using the index. So I want to print, okay, I want to print, let's say, I want to print Adrian. I want to print just Adrian. So what I'm going to do, print my Zig or my underscore Zig in the bracket. What I'm going to reference here is actually the thing I use in declaring above here. So that's the name. I'm going to print. Whatsoever will be printed is Adrian. That's my name. So what will be printed is Adrian. That's how you can print separate, or let's say one value in a list. So let's just read my machines. Okay, that's it. What I've seen here and what has been printed here is my name, Adrian. So that's how you can print separate values. You can go ahead, you try. Those are, you can print age, you can print a student, you can print height. Well, it's going to print the rest. So that's how you can use dictionary in Python. So I've talked about the declaration and how you can print the various elements in a dictionary, starting from printing the entire elements in a dictionary and also printing single elements in a dictionary. So those are the 4 types of data structure you're going to be mostly seeing in Python. You're going to be seeing dictionary, you're going to be seeing search, you're going to be seeing tuples, you're going to be seeing lists. We also have what we call arrays. Arrays are similar to lists. Yes, arrays are similar to lists, but the thing with array is that for a list, right, I can declare more than one array. So I'm just going to talk about array that do a differentiation between an array and a list. So I'm going to talk about arrays. So array is simply a collection of data with the same data types. You get? So it's a collection of data with same data type. So in array, we actually use same data types to, it's a collection of data with same data type. So before I want to actually, an array is also a data structure. So let's say before I want to use an array in Python, we usually we import the Python the library for array in Python. So you import array as, I'm just going to show you how you use it. You import array as then I'll just declare my array to be, okay, this is it. So this is how you declare an array. So what happened is my array is equal to dot. So this is what you're importing. It's a library. The library is simply a preview thing that you just import from Python, and then you can use it. It has a specific function in your code. So when you import it, meaning you can use the array here or the ARR to be your array. So importing array as ARR. So now I'm doing is I want to use the array to actually declare. So I'm using this one is actually basically that's just to reference the various index, because this IS stands for the various index, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the array elements. So normally in C programming, I'm just going to talk about C. So we say my name in C, we just say my name is equal to, for one dimensional array, we say my name is equal to 1, 2. Let's just say since is okay. Okay, let's say my array name is equal to, in C program we usually say, okay, we just say, okay, like this. Let's say Adrian, Ali, Ahmed, and Allah. So this is what you're going to be seeing. So this is how you can also declare in C. That's a one-dimensional array in C. Also, you also use this also in Python. But now here, using actually importing the library, the array library here, so we can easily use the array. You get? So I'm going to print, let's take for example, I'm going to print now based on their indexing. Like I said, an array is similar to a list in that in an array you can actually reference elements using the various index. Same as in list, you can reference elements using also the various index. So I'm just going to print this. I'm going to print this. So print my array. I'm going to print all of these elements. So array, what will be printed is array of blah 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 blah. So I'm just going to run it so that I see what will be printed. Okay. Let's just give it a little bit of time. It's kind of slow. It's kind of slow. Okay. So we have about 30 more minutes to go. All right, that's what has been printed. Array of I, blah, 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 what has been printed. Okay, let's use this another way now to do it. I'm going to comment this, and then I'm going to uncomment this. All right, let's use the other way to do it. And then here I'm going to say, okay. All right, so I'm just going to close this. My array name. So this is how you can print an array. So what will be printed here without actually importing the Python library, without actually importing it, you're going to use my array name. I've already declared the array name here. That's declaration of an array in Python. I'll just print array name. So what will be printed now is Adrian, Ali, Ahmed, and Allah. I don't need to run it for you to see, but you need to understand that that's what will be printed. All right, for clarity, I'm just going to run it so that you know what will be printed. So, but you need to understand that that's what needs to be printed. All right, that's it. Adrian, Ali, Ahmed, and the rest. So I'm just going to clear my screen. Okay, that's that. All right, so that's what has been printed now. That's how the array also is a data structure. It's also a data structure in Python. It's a data structure in Python. So what we'll be looking at, we've talked on data types, variables and data types. We've talked on data structures. So what we'll be looking at now It's actually operators in Python. So basically, we have series of different operators. We have mathematical operators, we have logical operators, and series of them. So operators are used to perform a particular operations on variables and values. Operators are used to perform operations on variables and values. Let's take, for example, if we want to use the various operators in Python, like we said, we have arithmetic operator. An example of my arithmetic addition. We also have subtraction, we have division or multiplication, we have division. So there are two types of division in we have modulus too. There are two types of division in Python. We have integer division and actually floating point division. So this one line is actually division in Python, but floating division. What I meant by floating division, it simply means that what will be printed is actually, let's say, we're going to apply it in practicals. So we have exponential. Exponential is done using, okay. We have now the normal division and also the floor division. We have normal division and the floor division. So it's actually similar to division, but now you're going to see the difference. Let's take, for example, I want to perform some various calculations on my, let's say I'm going to declare some two variables. Let's say 10, x as 10, and y as 3. So you need to understand that Python is spacing. You need to know where. So let's say, for example, I want to print, x plus y. What will be printed is 10 plus 3. That's it, how you do it. Let's say I want to print x minus y. If I want to print x times y, that's how you print it. I want to print x divided by y. What will be printed is 3.333333. That's why I said this one is actually a floating point division. That's where you get me now, right? That's why I said this is actually a floating point division. But now a floor division or an integer division, what will be printed? We just talk about modulo, just print the remainder. We have raised to, that's power. We have if you now use x divided, use double slash, right? Double forward slash divided by y. What will be printed is 3. As I just the integer part of it, the floating point side will be neglected. That's why I said this one is floating point division. Why this is floor division, meaning just the integer part will be printed. You get? So that's how you can do this in Python. Hope everything is clear. If there's any question, you can raise now before we move to the next. If you have any question, you can talk now, please. If you're having any question, you talk, please. But if no question, we're going to move to the next. We have assignment operators. So I talk about arithmetic operators. We have assignment operators. Assignment operators actually assign value from the right side to the left side. I'm going to do an example here. Let's say, for example, I want to say x is equal to. We have been using assignment operators, but you actually don't know that those are assigned. X is actually equal to 3 or x is equal to 5. So what has just been done here, I just need to go back. There is a space here which is not okay. X is equal to 5. This simply means that I'm assigning from right side to left side. I'm assigning the value 5, which is my right, to x, which is my left. That's what you need to understand how the assignment operator works. That's how they work. So we have assignment operator. That's an assignment operator. That's how it works. We're going to move to the next. You can use this to this an example too. You can say print. What will be printed here? It's actually 8. Let's say, for example, I'm just going to unmute on this thing. Okay. All right. So now what happened is x is given a value 3, right? And then I say x plus equal to 3 simply means x is equal to x plus 3. That's what it means here. So I'm just going to print the value. Okay, let's see how it works. Let's see how it works. All right, okay, let's just try see what happens. You just wait and see what happens actually. So you use hashtag to comment in Python. So that's why I've been using this hashtag to comment. So that's what has been printed. It has been printed. You get. So that's how you can use assignment operators in Python. So I'm not going to talk much about them again, but you need to understand that that's how assignment operators are being used in Python. The next you need to use now is comparison operators. Comparison operators is you comparing, let's say, we have equal to, we have not equal to, we have greater than, we have less than. You can name the various comparison operators that you know. Greater than, we have less than. We also have greater than or equal to. We have greater than or equal to. We have less than or equal to. I'm not going to. I'm going to comment this. Okay. All right. We have that. We also have I'm just going to perform. Okay, basically that's what we are going to be using. Let's say, for example, I'm going to declare two values here, and I'm going to use a conditional statement. We have not talked about conditional statement, but we're just going to apply it here. But one of which at that point I'm going to talk about it very well. So I'm going to apply it here. So the first thing I'm going to use, let's say I'm going to x equal to, okay. Make sure in Python you don't give space here. You don't give space in Python. So just say x equal to 10. And I'll say y equal to 5. Since I'm supposed to use a comparison of operator, or let's say a comparison operators here, I need to show you how you can actually do it. So if you want to print, it's a question you're asking. It's a question you are asking. If I want, let me just take this up. If I'm asking that, what is actually happening here? You're telling the compiler that is x equal to y. What will be printed is false. Is 10 equal to 5? It's a false. So not what will be printed there is false. 5 is not. What is it? 10 is not equal to 5, or 5 is not equal to 10. You get? Yes, 10 is not equal to 5. So what will be printed there is false. All right. So you've seen that's what has been printed false. So that's how you can actually compare two values in Python. We're going to move to the next using okay. Okay, is x not equal to y? What will be printed is true. I'm not going to want that for you to see. X obviously is 10 is not obviously equal to 5. What you can now check for is x greater than 5, is okay, is x less than 5. Is x less than 5? False. Is x greater than or equal to 5? False. Oh, sorry, true. Else is obviously greater than. Is x less than or equal to false? Equal to y? Obviously false. The next we'll be talking on now is I'll comment this before we move to logical operators. I just want us to try to do something here before. All right, the next will be focused on now is logical operator. I'm going to see how we can work on how okay, I'm just going to see if I'm recording. Yeah, I'm recording the session. So immediately after this, I'm going to send the recorded videos. All right, the next is for logical operators, it just simply is done based on a particular condition. So it's actually a logic. We have an returns true if both statements are true. We also have the or, which returns true if one statement is true. We have not, actually negates a statement. We're going to see how we can apply here is x equal to 10, y equal to 5. I'm just trying to think. Okay, so print. I'm going to use a logical operator here and also a conditional operator. I'm using conditional operator, that's this greater than us, yeah. Conditional operators and or comparison operators or conditional is the same, and also we use logical operators in between. Okay, I'm just going to test it. Is 10 greater than y? You guys can say, okay, is 10 greater than y? Emmanuel, is 10 greater than 5? Emmanuel, is 10 greater than 5? Are you there? Or Giselle, is 10 greater than 5 based on what you're saying? Or is x greater than y? Lijay, are you there? Honest. It's like I'm the only one here. I've been talking all alongside alone.
10 is not greater than 5, sir.
All right. So this obviously, like we said, an operator returns true if both statement is true. So this first statement is true. Obviously, 10 is not greater than 10 is greater than 5. Sorry, and also 10 is not greater than 20. So since the first statement is true and the second statement is true, what will be printed is true. Since it's actually a logical operator, you get. So that's what we can talk about logical operator. We can use also or to do it. We can use not. Also, we have the not operator which we can use it to. So that's how we can actually work with logical operators in Python. So I think we're going to talk on identity operators. They'll close the session tonight. Yes, we're going to talk on identity operators. Let me see the time. It's already 10 o'clock. We're going to talk on identity operators, then we end the session tonight. Okay, identity operators, we have is in Python. We also have is not. We have is. Actually, is returns true if both variables are the same object. Is not returns true if both variables are not the same object. I'm going to do an example here. So I'm going to say x. We're actually using it for identity operators are mostly used for objects. So I'm going to do something like this. Then I'm going to print. What happened is I'm printing is x or x is y. What will be printed there is these two are actually the same. So you're just going to confirm that so you see it yourself. Okay. Let's just give it a little bit of time. Okay, what will be printed? I think it's true. Alright, false will be printed because x is not y. X is different from y because x is an object on its own and y also is an object on its own. But both objects they contain the same values, but x is not equal to y. You get? But x is not equal to y. So that's how you can use the is operator. Same as you can use is not. You can also use the is not operator. What will be printed now here is true because x is not equal to y. You get? So that's how you can play alongside with variables, data types, data structures, and the rest. So okay, we'll be ending the session now. I think next session we're going to go more deeper, like looking into. We'll talk about this. We're going to look into functions and other stuff. All right. Hope everything is clear, like everything was explained to your own understanding. Hope everything is okay. Honest.
Yes,
You're
sir.
the only one here.
To some extent, everything is clear to a certain extent. But I can't say I'm understanding everything, but I'm actually following you. At least I'm sure that when I go over it over and over again, maybe by next class I'll have my own VS Code and everything in front of me. I will understand better. So thank you so much.
All right. Good night to you all and have a blissful night.
Thank you, sir.